voting the day that we lost Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
But to be clear, you're not taking any arrows out of your quiver. You're not ruling anything out.
Good morning. Sunday morning. We have a responsibility. We take an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. Good morning. Sunday morning. We have a responsibility. The next step has always been to seek and to find the truth.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi rejected 2 Republicans for the January 6th Select Committee.
The breadcrumbs lead to Nancy Pelosi's office.
I think she's afraid of getting to the truth.
FBI operatives were deeply involved in the events of January 6th.
Nancy Pelosi, she was negligent. She oversaw a systemic breakdown of security at the highest levels of the Capitol Police that led to the Capitol being unsecured on January 6th.
Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of D.C. rejecting Donald Trump's call for troops 2 days ahead of time.
The Sergeant of Arms office, Nancy Pelosi will not let them release the communications and documents that surround this whole decision.
You see, if the feds had informants, that would have meant they were informed as to what would transpire. Why didn't you do anything to stop it?
They want to talk about the part that fits their narrative.
This is a waste of your time and money. They have a predetermined outcome, and by the way, it lacks any serious investigation.
Good morning. When officers arrived here at the Pelosi home exactly a week ago today, they initially didn't have any idea exactly what was going on. They knew they had a high priority call on their hand. What was unclear, what was happening inside the property just behind me.
This morning, Paul Pelosi is home, back at the house that became a crime scene a week ago today. NBC News learning new details about the moments police arrived. Sources familiar with what unfolded in the Pelosi residence now revealing when officers responded to the high-priority call, they were seemingly unaware they'd been called to the home of the Speaker of the House. After a knock and announce, the front door was opened by Mr. Pelosi. The 82-year-old did not immediately declare an emergency or try to leave his home, but instead began walking several feet back into the foyer toward the assailant and away from police. It's unclear if the 82-year-old was already injured or what his mental state was, say sources. According to court documents, when the officer asked what was going on, defendant smiled and said everything's good. But instantaneously, a struggle ensued as police clearly saw David DePape strike Paul Pelosi in the head with a hammer. After tackling the suspect, officers rushed to Mr. Pelosi, who was lying in a pool of blood.
What we do know is he brutally attacked Mr. Pelosi and attempted to kill him.
After spending several days in the ICU, Pelosi, who is recovering from a fractured skull and serious injuries to his arm and hand, is now home, where Capitol Police remain on alert. Investigators have previously said Pelosi did not know DePape when the 42-year-old broke into his home. Why Pelosi didn't try to flee or tell responding officers he was in distress is unclear.
Fear takes over. Fear freezes people.
This morning, the 82-year-old lucky to be alive after an intruder nearly killed him in his own home.
Law enforcement officials tell us the bottom line here is this was a terrifying situation. We still don't know exactly what unfolded between Mr. Pelosi and the suspect for the 30 minutes they were alone inside that house before police arrived. Officials who were investigating this matter would not go into further details about these new details. Craig, back to you.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, though. He is lucky to be alive. Miguel Almaguer for us. Miguel, thank you.
Thanks so much for coming on. They're clearly lying. Like, what is this?
I got to set the record straight. I'm with The Blaze. I got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jason Whitlock, not Outkick. But, Tucker, listen.
Yeah.
I'm not upset with NBC. I have no expectations for them as a journalist. What I really have to stand up and defend, I'm outraged for Nancy Pelosi. This woman has taken the hard-earned money she's made from insider trading and invested in a pair of cans at 82 years old, and comes home to find out that her husband's playing hide the hammer with a Black Lives Matter guy? You talk about disrupting the nuclear family. The Black Lives Matter crew must be ecstatic because this guy's doing it, and so is Paul Pelosi. I'm upset for Nancy. She spent her hard-earned money on a pair of kids, and he's not interested.
Well, of course we can't confirm or deny your suggestion, but I must say I did notice that the second people started speculating about what might have really happened, which we are not doing and haven't done, but some have, because in the absence of the body cam video, why wouldn't they? I saw these liberals on Twitter saying it's disgusting that you would suggest there was anything alternative going on. I thought they were defenders of the alternative. When did that become immoral in the eyes of the Democratic Party?
Tucker, I don't want to put you in a tough spot, but I got to correct you again. Are you suggesting that my information that she spent her money on a pair of cans, are you saying that's bad information? I've seen a lot of evidence. I feel real comfortable. She's trying to entice her husband, but he's interested in playing hide the hammer on a Friday night with some weirdo. I think there's an issue. This is what needs to be investigated. This is the whole end game for Black Lives Matter. Disrupting the nuclear family. Start with the Speaker of the House.
Jason Whitlock of The Blaze. Thank you so much. Great to see you tonight. Well, so...
The revolution will not be televised, and be no rerun, brothers and sisters. The revolution will be live.
was the perfect person. I was like central casting.
Hey, you know what? And he's central casting. Look at that guy, central casting.
These are central casting. If I'm doing a movie, I pick you, General. Central casting. Very impressive. Oh, you're central casting. Look at this guy. This man's central casting. I watch him all the time. Central casting. He's a real talent, a real guy, and he is central casting. Do we agree? Central casting. They're central casting. The red suspenders, handsome, beautiful, smart. You couldn't get better central casting.
He is great in every way, and he's central casting. I mean, this is a man that was born for the position.
No, he was central casting like the perfect Supreme Court judge. These guys are central casting. There's nobody in Hollywood that looks like these people. And they're central casting. I've never seen a group of people like this. Everyone's in perfect shape. My friend, central casting. I always call him central casting. Boy, is that central casting. That's type of. Does he look like central casting? He look like Tom Cruise, but maybe better. The intellect is extraordinary, and the man is extraordinary. He's central casting. I assume you like these people. I assume it's central casting. Right, boss? Is this central casting? This is what we want. This is a great, brilliant man looks like, I don't know, very tough. Central casting.
When you talk about central casting,
This guy's out of central casting, I'm telling you. There's nobody in Hollywood that can look like this guy. Yeah, these guys are central casting, like from a movie. Central casting, you can't cast them. What do you have? You don't have anybody in Hollywood that looks like these guys. And a great-looking central casting, and we have great generals, a great central casting general. Let's look at them.
Ne kadar güzel insanlar.
Central casting.
Onlarla ilişki kurmak ne kadar.
he's like central casting for ownership of a hotel.
Everyone is central casting. Central casting. Glasses, pad, boom. I watch Judge Kavanaugh, who's central casting. This guy's like central casting. You couldn't pick a better guy in Hollywood. There's no actor that could do it better. You are so central casting. Great marks, great schools, the best everything, the best of everything.
This election is a referendum on Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, the radical left Democrat Congress that's destroying our country. You're going to elect an incredible slate of true American first Republicans up and down the ballot.
I'm ready to make you proud, Arizona, and I'm ready to lead this beautiful state into a bright future.
The future of the country is on the line, so vote like it because we need to win. We're going to win. Up and down, Republican, up and down your ballot. God bless you. We are going to make this country great again.
I think the only thing Joe Biden has built back better is the Republican Party. We're going to win big in November, and we're going to do it because of all of you.
It's going to be a new day. We're going to have a new birth of freedom. Take back our state and make Pennsylvania the greatest state in the nation.
Put the interests of the citizens of this country first. Ladies and gentlemen, come November 8th, we're going to take this country back, and we're going to do it together.
We can't back down. The fight starts now. I'm the America First candidate. Mr. President, make America great again.
We are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We have the greatest economy and the greatest country. But we are not going to let this continue. Soon we will have greatness again.
We have one shot to save this great state, but we can't do it alone. Save Nevada and save America. Let's go do it.
I won't bend. Trump won't bend. I know you are with us. Tell me that you will not bend.
This race really is about the future of Alaska and the future of America.
I care about America. I'm not here to be a politician. I'm here to be a warrior.
Make sure you vote. Let's take our state back. We'll do this, Michigan.
But I will always put America first. November 8th, we're taking our country back.
President Trump is going to fire Nancy Pelosi.
That's why Donald Trump's going to convince you we got to go in another direction.
Voters have the right to vote for someone who has crazy ideas like the Muslim ban. Those are illiberal. Those are things that go against individual rights and freedoms.
Can I jump in? There's a lot of straw men here. Nobody's saying they don't have the right to vote for crazy ideas. Nobody's saying that all Trump voters are fascists. You use the word authoritarian. I'm fine with authoritarian. I mean, we're now into pedantry here. I would argue many Trump voters would be very upset being called authoritarian, but you're calling Trump authoritarian. So let's agree. He is something that is not normal. He's a threat to democracy. He's not just anti-immigration, Chadi. He wanted to build a moat, put alligators in it, and shoot immigrants in the legs. If that is not fascism, I don't know what is.
Okay, well, I didn't hear about that alligator thing, Mandy, but if I can just finish the thought here. Look, the danger is when you, I would just want to put the question back to you, Mandy. What are you actually suggesting we do if Trump wins fair and square? Let's forget about any foul play or anything like that. If he wins in 2024, what are you going to do? Are you going to respect that result?
I mean, I don't accept the premise of your question. If he wins in 2024, let's forget the foul play. How can I forget the foul play when now the Republican Party is trying to change state legislature rules, voting rules? Shadi, right now they are taking steps to make sure that the 2024 election is not a free and fair election. You keep
this is concerning,
pushing
Mandy.
that away. You cannot
You're not willing to
this.
accept that outcome, then. That's concerning to me.
I'm not. Hold on. I'm willing to accept an outcome of a free and fair election. Shadi, as of right now, do you believe the 2024 election will be a free and fair election if black people are denied the right to vote, if there is racist gerrymandering continues, if election workers are threatened with death?
That black people have been, the vote has been taken away from them?
It's the first you've heard that black voters are being disenfranchised in America.
This is exaggerated rhetoric that it's raising the existential stakes. And what I would like each of us to do is to try to lower the temperature. You're not willing to do that.
Hold on, Shadi. Do you not think our democracy is under threat? This is a very simple question. You think that election work is being harassed, trying to overturn elections, death threats to election officials, changing of voting laws, disenfranchisement of people in Florida. You think none of that is affecting the free and fair election in 2024? Seriously.
But the other side of it is that when you raise the specter of a fascist threat,
Shadi,
can I just let me?
Only one party is trying to overturn democracy right now. Please stop the both sides.
Okay, when you raise the specter of a fascist threat, it justifies taking extraordinary measures to suppress that threat. And that's why sometimes people like the idea of suppressing democracy in order to save it. We think that so much is at stake that we have to do anything it takes to prevent Trump or someone like him from winning in 2024. That can lead to overreach. I worry your rhetoric can lead us to do things we shouldn't do in a democratic context, and for us as liberals to go too far into demonizing our opponents and the other side. That is not sustainable in a democracy.
We are just 2 days away from the most important midterm election in American history, and we need a landslide so big that the radical left cannot rig it or steal it.